Don't fight like this. After this clip hit the combat sports world by storm, many students around the world copied it. Yes, this is the Iron Head technique that originates from Kung Fu. When it works, it can look cool, but when it doesn't, this is what happens. In reality, the Iron Head technique is not useful at all. You see, these moves were done by a self-proclaimed Shaolin monk. Yes, the man is one of the better fighters in the world, fighting and beating some of the very best throughout his career. However, this Kung Fu fighter has made several big mistakes throughout his career too. That is, his antics and mistakes have made him both famous and infamous. The Iron Head technique has both resulted in viral moments and also gotten him knocked out. In the words of Bruce Lee, it's important to absorb what is useful and discard what is useless. This technique, ladies and gentlemen, is useless. Fight fans, welcome back to another episode of Striking Breakdowns. In this episode, we explore the techniques of Yi Long, the man who self-proclaimed himself as the #1 Shaolin Kung Fu monk. This little clip of Yi Long absorbing shots got 20 million views on YouTube. It was a fight against Brad Riddell, now a top UFC prospect. So how did Yi Long pull it off? Let's examine the mechanics behind it. Despite not having particularly active movement or defense, Yi Long does have good vision. Assisting his good vision, he is very strong isometrically, which means he can stiffen his body at the right time. This is something Kung Fu fighters train a lot. They practice holding positions such as the horse stance, as well as taking hits while flexing. The Iron Head trick is best done by keeping the eyes on the opponent. Notice how Yi Long keeps his vision on his opponent right before he gets hit. He would brace forward so that he could strengthen his stance and hide the chin. Then he would stiffen his neck and roll with the punch. It made him look like an absolute badass, but the reality is that he lost the match. This clip made Yi Long famous around the world, but all he did was lose points and brain cells here. Yes, he did take Riddell's best shots, but he wasn't able to score back right after. That means it is absolutely ineffective fighting. Throughout the fight, Yi Long did score many spinning back kicks, but that's about all he scored. While Yi Long is the most famous fighter for doing this, he is not the only one who has pulled it off. For example, Mark Hunt has a famous moment like this too. As you can see, Hunt was also keeping his vision and rolling with the punches. The next time Yi Long tried this, however, he wasn't so lucky. Going into this fight with a 30-3 record, Yi Long's confidence was riding high against the American champion. In the fight, he was able to land significant strikes and taunt the opponent. He even rocked the opponent and swept him a few times. But this got Yi Long too confident. When the opponent landed a body kick and a Thai Superman punch, Yi Long decided to drop his hands and do the Iron Head technique again. The opponent continued to strike with hooks, and then hit a beautiful uppercut cross and left hook combo that put Yi Long's lights out. This time, Yi Long did not brace his head forward or hide his chin. He kept his stance tall and did not have a proper base to absorb any of the shots. So, it's not surprising that he got knocked out by this marvellous combination. To Yi Long's credit, he would beat Brad Riddell twice after. He would also hold notable victories against Enrico Kehl and Buakaw, although they were extremely controversial wins. When he faced off against top Thai fighters like Sayok and Sitachai, Yi Long was knocked out. Overall, his career has been prolific for a Chinese fighter. With 62 wins and 12 losses, and a weird style, he's become a fan favourite and superstar within China. For me, his most memorable fight was against Hong Man Choi. Many people thought that Yi Long hit the giant with a nut shot, but upon closer examination, it was actually the hip area, which is a legal strike. That means he took out a giant with a spinning back kick, which is very hard to do. Overall, Yilong is an entertaining fighter to watch, but please do not copy the Iron Head technique. Like Bruce Lee said, absorb what is useful, discard what is useless, and add what is specifically your own. From a fighter who self-trained in Shaolin Kung Fu to one of the biggest combat superstars China has ever seen, Yilong's story is a masterclass on marketing as a fighter. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to watch another episode of Striking Breakdowns. I'm Lawrence Kenjin, and thank you for keeping our channel alive.